Chuckster.
That's nice, Ernie.
Spurs and Knicks, followed by the Timberwolves and Nuggets. That's a great doubleheader. We welcome you inside Studio J in Atlanta for NBA Tip-Off presented by Lilly. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, and sitting in for Kenny the Jet Smith, who's on assignment. I don't know what that might be. But Jinx is here, Jalen Rose.
Thank you, my brother. Appreciate the love.
Always great to see
Kenny's on a visit at UNC. Good to see you, gentlemen. Always great to be running with the championship.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get his son under the salary cap.
It's a big day. It's a big day for the Kenny Smith family. So and Malloy. So we certainly
just remember, anybody can go to UNC. It takes a great person to go to Auburn.
I have not heard that, but I love this. I love this first game. San Antonio, New York. And I love the whole setting. It's at the Garden. It's an 11-game day in the NBA, but this is the first game. Yeah. Nobody else playing opposite you. It's going to be good stuff.
It is. And the other day, Shaq was really honest with Karl Anthony Towns. So I wanted to do a Jacques Cousteau deep dive into exactly what may stop the Knicks from possibly achieving their goals.
Love it.
Jalen Brunson's having basically a career high in scoring and assists. Mikal Bridges brings it every night. He's been playing really well, shooting almost 40% from three. You know what you're going to get from Hart. You know what you're going to get from OG Anunoby. The one that's not playing to his levels is Karl Anthony Towns. Career lows in points, field goals. He's just not bringing it the way they need him to if they're going to achieve their goals.
I'm not looking at the guards today. I'm looking at this big man matchup. We'll see if he steps up. You know, when you want to become great, you got to, battle against the best and dominate the best. I'm not saying he's going to dominate Victor Wembanyama, but he can cause Victor some trouble if he's hitting that shot. I don't want to see him out there hitting that shots. He has to be aggressive, stay out of foul trouble, but this is a matchup I'm looking forward to tonight. The Frenchman versus the Meow Man.
Last two games, and you'll like this, last two games, Cat. 18 field goal attempts, only 2 from deep. But Chuck, you were talking about the situation for Wemby today with Cat.
I think this is a great matchup for the Knicks because Wemby likes to stand back there and play safety because the Spurs are one of the best defensive teams on the perimeter. So they force everything to Victor. The one problem I see with them sometimes is if you got a good center, you got to keep Wembanyama busy. And Cat actually has a huge advantage. He's a great three-point shooter. Like Joker can play, Sagoon can play in the post area or out on the floor. But Cat's ability to shoot the three, I think, is going to be a really huge advantage. So I'm going to disagree with Shaq. He's talking about, I think.
I'm sorry to cut you off. You're forgetting one thing. They switch 1 through 5. Don't forget they switch. It's not like how we hedge and get back.
If they switch, that's when Karl should. Remember when I said a couple weeks ago, I don't think he understands matchups?
Right.
When they put them little dudes on him, he's just got to kill them in the post. But when they try to put Victor back there as a safety, Karl can shoot the three. But if they switch, just Karl can go down low. I think the Knicks perimeter players can have a good game. Because I know Jalen, if you're a guard, or a small forward, isn't it an insult if somebody think they can guard you one-on-one?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so if I'm Josh Hart, OG, guys like that, I'm like, oh, y'all gonna pressure me and Victor is not back there? You insulting me. So it's all about matchup. Do I think the Spurs got a better team? 100%. But this game, to me, is going to be about matchups, and I want to see how the Knicks going to handle it.
So you expect to see Cat shooting more 3 balls today than he has in the last 2 games?
Yes. It depends on Victor. When I said a couple weeks ago, I don't think he understands matchup. The matchup dictates how many threes you take. Like, if they going to put a little guy on me, I ain't letting no little guy guard me. Even if I'm a good 3-point shooter, if they're going to put a guard on me, I'm running in the post for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm going to be screaming mouse in the house, or I'm going to get offensive rebounds, A or B. I'm never going to let a little guy, no big guy, if you got a little guy guarding you, if you shoot a 3, you take the little guy off the hook.
First of all, if he ain't been doing it, he's not going to do it. And another important factor, if Victor switches on the guard with that length, the guard's going to do all this stuff and blow by him, but he has the ability with that length to get by and still affect the shot.
Yeah, but then Karl will be out there shooting threes. That's why I'm saying this to me is going to – this is a good matchup. Like I say, the games are always – you got
Bet
to
it then. Bet it.
Bet the whole house. I like the Knicks today if they play smart.
The two teams that played for the NBA Cup in Vegas
then,
with the Knicks beating the Spurs.
Another good thing, I'm high on this kid, Castle. You know, I'm not sure how many times we've showed the Spurs this year, but everybody talks about Victor Wembanyama, he's going to be the face of the league. Well, first of all, he's not going to be the face of the league. You have to take it. You can't give it to people who's on the other networks.
And he wants it.
Well, you should want it, but you have to take it. They can't give it to you. I hear guys talk about who we think should be the face of the league. You can't give somebody the face of the league. You take it. But America, you're going to see this young man right here. This kid here is special. We don't get to see the Spurs play a lot, but this young man is going to be a star for the next 10, 15 years.
And Jalen, the guy who was sitting in your chair last night when we talked about this matchup, said that's what he wants to watch. He wants to see Brunson. He wants to see Castle. He said that's going to be a must-see.
And the Spurs player development has been incredible. And as Charles just mentioned, we talk a lot about Wemby, and rightfully so, and Castle and Vassell. They do a really good job. Then you add De'Aaron Fox, who's basically scoring 20 points in 30 minutes a night. And then they just had Champagne, who was an undrafted player out of St. John's in 22-23, hit 11 threes in the game the other night. So they're doing a really good job of developing their young squad.
The De'Aaron Fox-Wembanyama combo, when they made the deal last year to get Fox, everybody had really high hopes and was like, oh, I can't wait to see this happen. And then Wemby has the blood clot thing, so they're limited in the time they played. But 753 minutes they've played together this season, plus 209 in the plus-minus.
You know, this guy reminds me of a baby Nick Van Exel, very herky-jerky, you know, can speed it up, can slow it down, can control the tempo. But listen, I like the young team, and I hate to say it, but the system is back.
Why do you hate to say it?
The system is back. I thought they were gone forever, but they're back now.
Oh, you know what I just realized?
You know I hate the system, Ernie.
And Chuck picked the Knicks today. You're going to start going back to San Antonio more often over these next few years.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for bringing that up, Jalen. That's really good of you.
To double up on the row.
Why, Chuck?
Churros. Them damn churros. I understand y'all problem down there in San Antonio. The churros, they good. Put that little caramel sauce in there.
Do it again, Chuck. Just do it slower. Just do it slower, Chuck.
Are you off of churros now? I hope.
No, Ernie, you got to have churros, especially when you get the caramel sauce. You got to have it. I got to get on Jalen a little bit.
No, that's enough, Zach. You don't need to see that again.
Just slow it down a little bit.
No, we don't need to see it again.
You didn't even mention Harper.
Take your point, yeah.
And Dylan Harper, yeah.
Shout out to the great Ron Harper. Yeah, man, the Spurs do a fantastic job. You know, shout out to the great Greg Popovich, one of the best to ever do it. But their player personnel, I tell you something about the Spurs and the Miami Heat. They, to me, are the best organization as far as developing young players.
OKC.
OKC, but they draft players. I think he's the best GM in the league right now. I thought Masai was the best GM, but Sam Presti, man, because, you know, you take away, he made the trade for Shea, and obviously he made the great trade for Hartenstein and Caruso. But other than Chet Holmgren, the rest of those players who would turn into really good players, like they were late round draft picks. Because when you're as good as OKC, you're not drafted in the lottery. I think Chet's really the only lottery guy they got. Maybe Jalen, I forget what pick he went. But the rest of those guys, Sam has done a hell of a job of getting those guys to man, and they work their players. I mean, so shout out. But they, you know, Shaq talked about it last week. Even when Shea and Jalen were out, they were playing well, man. Yeah. That's when you know you're doing a hell of a job.
And when you look at that San Antonio roster, too, you guys have pointed out a lot of guys who are bringing it. But Keldon Johnson might be the 6th man of the year. Yeah. In a brand new role for him. I mean, he's up there with Nas, Jaime Jaquez in Miami. When you talk about guys who could be the 6 men of the year, Keldon Johnson is right there. We will take a break and then look ahead to Game 2, Minnesota and Denver.
That's the assignment, Kevin. That is definitely the assignment.
This was Shaq last night, by the way.
Please crash.
He was trying to do what Quentin Post did for Golden State, and taking the scooter